What would you do if you could go back in time? Like because I think about it, I'm like, yo, if I could restart my life, I wouldn't want to restart from like 5 because I'm like, that's too fucking long. Then I have to go through like, imagine being an adult in like first grade, fucking weird. But if I could restart my time, if I had a time stone to just go back in time, I would literally go back to like 10th grade. Because that's like the ultimate peak. That's when like you start becoming a man almost. For me, that's when my growth spurt hit, my voice changed. And like I think about it, I'm like, yo, knowing what I know now, imagine like going back 10 years in the past or 12 years in the past, at this point I'd be worth like $1 billion. I'd be a billionaire. I would have gotten like so much pussy. Like when I was 18, just knowing what I know now. And then on top of that, like I could just right a lot of my wrongs. Because at some point, like let's say I did go back, I wouldn't even want to get pussy because I already had it technically. Just not in that life. I don't know what that would be considered, but
well, I don't know if that works though. I don't know if that works though. Because if you go back in time, do you unfuck the people that you fuck? Because how does that work? Because if you're in a situation where it's like, all right, I slept with this amount of people. Now you go back to virginity. Do you have in your mind the experiences, or does that get erased as well? Because if you go back knowing what you know, do you know and experience everything?
Technically, you have the memory of fucking someone.
Okay.
But you haven't actually done it.
So then it's a fantasy at that point. You're no different than an incel when you go back. You're pretty much the same. What did you mean saying?
If you know, okay, that's a good point.
See, that kind of, you can't unfuck who you fuck. But then if you do unfuck who you fuck, you no longer have the experience, so now it's just fantasy.
True.
So your experience now becomes porn.
But
it's like virtual porn.
But why does it matter if you know you did it?
Well, do you know that you did? Well, technically, if you went back, then you'd have the consciousness that you actually experienced it.
That you did it, but you technically didn't do it. I'm not gonna lie though, I understand where you're coming from. Because for me, like, I think there's been some girls where I'm like, I did that. You feel a sense of pride, you're like, did that. Obviously, I don't talk about it too much because it's kind of like douchey, but like, I know, and because I actually did it in this life, I feel cool about it. But if you were to go back in time, you might know, but you didn't actually do it. It's different because like, can you be prideful for something you actually didn't do in the real objective reality? It's a good question. And
then you also have the shameful portion of it, because there's some experiences where it's like, yeah, that was great. And then there's other experiences where like, oh shit, that was terrible. Like you wish you could have took that back, but now you take that back and you also take back the good ones as well. So it's a blessing and a curse.
Well, so funny enough, I actually look at my life like this, because I look at my life now and the guys that I was coming up with, these guys are fucking 10 times richer than me. Because I fell under the Justin Bieber trap. I started making money. First thing I did, fly girls out, travel, blow all my money, right? These guys had a little bit of a saner mind, and they saved their money.
So they had a long-term plan. You just kind of was just in the situation.
Yeah, 100%. But then I look at our lives now, right? And they live in fucking places 6 times bigger than mine. Their penthouses are way nicer. They have Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Rolls Royces. And I think about it, and I'm like, I would not change a thing. I look at my life, I look at their life. They might be having a good life, but I feel like I have lived 10 lifetimes already. To the point if I die today, I'd be very, very happy. If they died today, they spend their entire life looking for nothing. I think there's a delicate balance. If I spent all of it and I was homeless, that's a different story, but I'm still living in a penthouse. I still got a good life. I have like a very balanced aspect of my life, so I have no complaints about that. Like I'm super happy about it. But
you know what's interesting about that? I'm happy that you said that, because it's like when people think when you get older, you get wiser, but wisdom doesn't only come with age, it comes with experience. So if you're in a situation where, let's just say, somebody who's 100 millionaire versus somebody who's a 50 millionaire, right? But the person who was a 50 millionaire was in a situation where they blew through 75. So they really could have been at like 125, but they had the experience of blowing through the money, or a situation where they've got it all, lost it all, got it back, versus somebody who got there, never lost it. Although the person who never lost it has a captivating story, especially in America, people are going to be much more, or I should just say the West as a whole, more people will be much more interested in the person who had it, lost it, got it back. Because on average, people are going to get something, lose it, and get it back.
People like the hero's journey.
Yeah.
They like people that have gone through ups and downs. If your entire life is an up, they don't care about that.
Yeah.
They're like, good for you, but if your entire life is up, down, it's captivating. It's why people like movies. Because in movies, usually the superhero's doing good, and then all of a sudden something bad happens and they lose it all, or the plot twist, and all of a sudden they come back up. Because it shows character development. Right? When you look at Justin Bieber is a great example of this. He was a rock star, and then he went a little crazy.
Yeah, started spitting on people.
Started peeing on people.
Yeah, that too.
And then came back up, and now he's a man of Christ. Right?
So
It's
he
a
peed
captivating
on
story.
people. He peed on people and then turned to Christ. Why didn't R. Kelly do that? Like he just kept peeing on people.
Yeah.